Hello, family and friends. Let's all raise our glasses to some very special people and the reason why most of us are here tonight. I hope that most of you get the opportunity to speak with them, tell them memorable stories. They're great listeners. Let's give it up to the bartenders. Thanks, guys. All right, so for those who don't know me, my name is Chris Torrey. I'm Brian's older brother, best man and best brother. When Brian came up to me a few months ago and asked me to be his best man, he was like, man, I really don't want you to speak at my wedding. But you're the only brother I have. So, here we are. Growing up, I always put my brother first. Like when we climb up to the top of the roof, I'd let him jump off first. When we jumped off large boulders into the Frio River, I let him go first. I had to make sure it was safe. As kids, we always spent a lot of time with sports to try to stay out of trouble, playing baseball and football. And one story that comes to mind is before a Little League game, my brother was all dressed up and ready to go to his game, jump on his bike, and I took a pair of my stepdad's handcuffs, and I handcuffed my brother to a wooden rail between our kitchen and our living room. Yeah, it was funny for a while. So I gave him hell for about 5 minutes and then started looking for the key, and I couldn't find that key. I took some butter out of the fridge, buttered up his wrist, trying to pull the handcuffs off, but I put them on too tight. So I realized, wow, I could really get in trouble here. I need to figure this out. So I did what any 12-year-old would do. I called the Kirby Police Department. Yes, I have an emergency. I've handcuffed my brother to a wooden rail, and I need some help. He's locked up. They're like, well, what's the emergency? And I was like, he's got a game in 10 minutes, and he's the starting pitcher. They got there pretty quickly. I still got in trouble. Skip over this part. So my brother's always been a great athlete, and one of the traits that I always have admired the most of my brother is just how clutch he is under pressure. When you need someone to make a play, you could always count on Brian Torrey. Whether it be hitting home runs in all-star games or catching and running a 70-yard touchdown pass underneath the Friday night lights in packed stands against a division rival. And then going on to making second team all-district on a football team that took pride in running the football. So I was very proud of that. And through it all, him remaining humble and kind and likable, that in a class of 700 graduating students, he was actually nominated prom king and won prom king. Bow down. Chapter 2. In the summer of 2001, I approached my brother. I said, Brian. He stopped me and said, please address me as King Brian Torrey. Wow, not so humble anymore, are we? So I started over. King Brian Torrey. Let's go to Southwest Texas. Didn't take very much convincing. He was set, and we agreed that we would pack up our stuff and get going. So, so we loaded up the Montero Sport with the windows down, the sunroof open, the Bud Light tap stick shift, jamming out to Robert Earl Keen, and we made our way to San Marcos, Texas, AKA San Marvelous. We moved into the exchange apartment community and began our college days, where we learned very valuable lessons. Like drinking screwdrivers in our 9:30 bowling class would help us sleep a little better in our 11:30 English Lit class. I had pause for laughter. I'm glad that worked out. Or how pouring a whole bottle of Dawn dish soap in the dishwasher, it does not produce enough bubbles to constitute a foam party. Instead, it flooded our apartment. Luckily, we lived on the second floor, and most of it just drained down. So no big deal. If there was an award for best trashed apartment that year, we would have won. Turns out there was. It was in the form of an invoice. So it's been rumored that my mom and dad wished that they had a little girl. And instead they gave me a brother and a best friend. Oh, right there. Winning. Betsy, you look beautiful. You look amazing tonight. I knew that Brian really cared for you when I saw on Facebook that he updated his status to in a relationship. I was like, I didn't even know he was dating anymore. And Brian knew that I approved because I liked that status update. And I don't like very many status updates. As the older brother, I've been very protective of my younger brother, and I'm glad he met you, Betsy. You please him in ways that I cannot. You know, loving and caring. Betsy, you've been part of the Torrey family long before tonight, but tonight it's official. And the best is yet to come, and I wish you two the best. To Brian and Betsy Torrey.